Hey, welcome to a new video on the Catman Joe channel. My name is George Joseph and today I'll be showing you how to get every banner pattern in Minecraft. In total there are 10 different banner patterns you can collect, which are used to apply unique designs to banners instead of a loom. Now most can be crafted, but some can only be found in structures or through other means, making collecting them without a guide a bit of a challenge, so let's get into it. Firstly, here's how to get the field mason pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to first find some sugarcane and make some paper. Then you'll just need to get some clay, which usually can be found in shallow water, and smelt it into bricks and make one brick block. After you've done that, combine the paper and the single brick block in a crafting bench and you'll be able to craft the field mason banner pattern. Secondly, here's how to get the Bordure Indented pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to make some shears and go find some vines. Now vines naturally generate in jungles, swamps and even on the stumps of fallen trees, so it shouldn't be hard to find some. After you've collected some, all you need to do is combine one of them with some paper and a crafting bench and you'll be able to craft the Bordure Indented banner pattern. Thirdly, here's how to get the flower charge pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to find some oxeye daisies, which generate naturally in plains, flower forests, meadows and sunflower plains. After that, all you've got to do is combine one oxeye daisy with some paper and a crafting bench and you'll be able to craft the flower charge banner pattern. Next, here's how to get the creeper charge pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to get your hands on a creeper head. Now creeper heads are a little tricky to get, as along with most other mob heads they can only be dropped when a charged creeper, which is a creeper that's been struck by lightning, explodes and kills another creeper. Traditionally, getting lightning to strike a specific mob was a challenge because you'd first need to get a trident, then enchant it until you got channeling, or just wait until lightning randomly struck a mob. However, thankfully with introduction of lightning rods you can now just trap a creeper instead of a glass box and have one lightning rod above it, and then when you next get a lightning storm you'll get a charged creeper. Then once you've got a charged creeper, just drag it to an area where there are other creepers and make it explode, and you'll see the regular creepers drop creeper heads. Then combine one of those heads with some paper and a crafting bench and you'll get the creeper charge banner pattern. After that, here's how to get the skull charge pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to get your hands on a wither skeleton skull. Now to get a wither skeleton skull you'll first need to go to the nether and then locate another fortress, which can be a little tricky to find. So if you don't want to spend a bunch of time searching for one, you can use sites like Chunkbase, which I'll have linked down below in the description, that allow you to enter the seed for your world and find where most structures are. Once you've found a fortress though, it shouldn't be long before you run into some wither skeletons, which if you kill will have a 2.5% chance to drop a skull. However, if you want your chances of getting a skull to be better, you'll need to add loading 3 to your weapon, as you'll then have a 5.5% chance to get a skull with every kill. Regardless, once you've got the wither skull, all you need to do is combine it with some paper and a crafting bench and you'll be able to craft the skull charge banner pattern. Then here's how to get the thing pattern. To get this pattern you'll need to get an enchanted golden apple. Now enchanted golden apples used to be craftable in older versions of Minecraft, but sadly that's no longer the case, meaning the only way to get them is to loot certain structures. Fortunately, enchanted golden apples can be found in the chests of several different structures, so it's really your choice which you'd prefer to loot. Personally, I'd suggest the trial chambers, as when you open an ominous vault you'll have a 22.5% chance to get an enchanted golden apple. Then once you've got one, all you've got to do is combine it with some paper and a crafting bench and you'll be able to craft the thing banner pattern. Following that, here's how to get the glow pattern. First, you'll need to either find a cartographer villager or a regular unemployed villager and then place a cartography table in front of them so that they become a cartographer villager. Then you'll need to trade with them until they level up to the max level, which is master. This is because once a cartographer villager becomes a master, they'll start selling the glow banner pattern for just 8 emeralds. Next up, here's how to get the Snout pattern. First, you'll need to go to the nether and find a bastion remnant, also referred to as a bastion, which is a large castle-like structure found in the nether in all biomes except basalt deltas. Now once you find a bastion, your goal is to loot every chest you can find, as each chest has a 10.1% chance of having one Snout banner pattern. A useful tip to know before you try to loot bastions is to build up a couple of blocks high or secure yourself so that no piglings or especially pigling brutes can reach you, and then use a bow or crossbow to kill all nearby piglings. This is because opening any chest inside a bastion or even mining gilded blackstone will anger the piglings and make them all swarm you, so it's always just safer to kill them first and then loot after. And finally, here's how to get the Flow and Guster banner patterns. These two patterns are both obtained inside trial chambers, which are underground combat challenge arenas that are made of mostly copper blocks and tough bricks. Now finding a trial chamber is a challenge in of itself, as because they're underground structures you'll likely never find one unless you're mining near one. So the best way to find one is to either purchase a trial explorer map, which can be sold by cartographer villagers and shows a small section of terrain that contains a chamber, or once again use sites like Chunkbase, which allow you to enter the seed for your world and find where most structures are. When you find a trial chamber, to get the flow pattern you'll need to drink an ominous bottle, which you can get from either killing pillager captains or by completing regular trials. Then if you drink the ominous bottle inside a chamber you'll get the bad omen effect and trigger an ominous trial, which essentially just makes trial chambers more challenging, but once you complete the trial by killing all the mobs you'll get an ominous trial key as a reward. Then if you take that ominous trial key to an ominous vault and use it, you'll have a 15% chance to get the flow banner pattern. Now if you want to get the Guster pattern it's even easier. To get this pattern you'll just need to either loot all the chests you can find, as each chest will have a 4.2% chance to have the pattern, or you'll need to use a regular key on a regular vault and you'll have the same percent chance to get the banner pattern as a reward. Regular keys can be obtained by completing trials without the bad omen effect or by just looting trial chambers. However, due to the low chance of getting the pattern in regular vaults, you'll likely need to gather quite a few keys to get it. So now that you know how to get every banner pattern, the next question you might have is actually how to use them. To start with, you'll want to first make a loom, which requires 2 string and 2 wood planks. Then you'll need to make a regular banner in whatever color you want. After that, all you need to do is place a banner in the loom and then add a die and pattern of your choice. Now you can make as many banners as you you want. So if you did find this tutorial useful, please drop it a like, share it with your friends, consider subscribing and comment if you have any questions or issues. Other than that, thank you for watching and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.